Welcome to our instructor training courses at Stanley Community College. I'm going to add an addendum to the official orientation because there have been a lot of questions that I normally answer in the first WebEx session that we have for class, but I'm going to go ahead and get this out to you so that you are in the know and know what's happening. In our ITC courses, we have three primary areas that we use. The first, of course, is Moodle. In Moodle, the most important thing you do is you log in and you complete this Introduce Yourself assignment. That must be completed before the census date of the class, or I will be forced to basically drop you from the class and there's no refund. So make sure you do that assignment. That is the very first thing you need to do. The instructions on your username and passwords were sent to you in the orientation email that I sent 3 or 4 times. And so make sure you log in, complete that, and that is your first assignment. From there, if you wish, you can use netacad.com by clicking through this link here, or just typing in netacad.com. If you already were an existing student at Stanley Community College, an existing instructor who took a previous class, I simply added you into your class on netacad.com. If you're a new instructor, I sent you a seat token, and that seat token had instructions on how to enroll yourself if you A, had an existing netacad account, or B, did not have a netacad account. Last but not least, please be aware that those tokens are only valid for 24 hours as per the email. So if you haven't used it within 24 hours and didn't get logged in, then let me know so that I can get you into the netacad.com class. Now, inside of netacad.com, you will see your class listed under your I'm Learning tab. It's probably going to be the only tab most of you have. I have multiple tabs because I am, in fact, already an instructor. So if you've got the I'm Learning tab, you'll go there, find your course, and then go into it. Each course has this layout. One of the first things I want to show you is how to get Packet Tracer. Packet Tracer is the simulation environment that we use for many of the labs, many of the packet tracers inside the courses. To get Packet Tracer, you click on Student Resources, and then you go to the Download and Install latest version of Packet Tracer, and then you can download Packet Tracer from that particular folder. Okay, so you can actually see the Packet Tracer here. So once you've downloaded and installed Packet Tracer, the next item you will see, which is not very clear but is very important, is a modules item on the left-hand side. This is your primary area to use when going through the class. Each one of these will show you items that are going to be done for each chapter. For instance, right now, your pretest exam is due by February 11th. So February 11th is when this first pretest is due. I have activated that pretest for the class and it is available for you. If you've never been in a class before, it is important that you actually go through and look at first time in this course to kind of see how the course flow with the material is. Then, each particular chapter, you will read the chapter by clicking on Launch the Chapter, and that will actually take you to where you can launch the chapter and you can read the materials. So the actual materials are inside of the chapter, okay? And you can walk through and you can read and watch the videos and all the sundry things. There's no required textbook for this chapter because the materials are all inside of netacad.com. If you're done reading, you can return to class by clicking on the Return to Class button and then go back to Modules. Now, under the modules, you will see the items that I have assigned for you. Packet Tracer links, such as PT1244, if you click here, it will actually take you to the curriculum where that particular Packet Tracer is at. All right. Under the modules, you will also see that for each assignment there is an upload item. When you click on upload, you will have a submissions button that will let you upload. For each PT, I would like you to upload the .pka file with your name, and it even says complete it, upload it with your name plus the PT number, and then show a screenshot showing the completion grade along with your PKA file. Now, the only thing about some of these PKAs are what I call look and see. For instance, this PKA, for instance, I'm going to go ahead and load it. I'm going to open up this Packet Tracer. And it's actually opening on my other screen, so I'll pull it over in just a second. So I just click OK. I'm going in as guest. I'm not logging in. And I'm just going to answer yes, it doesn't matter. And then here's the PKA. And here are the directions for this PKA. Now you will notice that in this particular PKA, it just has you go through and switch between different modes, look at different things, real-time versus simulation mode, logical and physical view, so logical and physical view, those items. But, oops, sorry about that. But there's no actual configuration that takes place. So when I do check results, it's locked. There's nothing really that you can do on this particular packet tracer. You also notice at the bottom that there are a couple questions. Okay, some things you can do here. So you can do these. Honestly, on these look and see ones, all you can do is just upload your completed PKA and say, I finished it. On other PKAs, as we go further along in the course, and so I'm going to jump down to where there's should be a graded, oops, had a bug there. I'm using 7.1.1. I actually suggest that you only use 7.1.0. Let me go down here and find, I'm just going to go to this build a small network so I can do a packet tracer here that actually has scoring on it. This particular one, which is configuring secure passwords, this will have actual check results because it asks you to complete task. So you will notice on this packet tracer there's a completion percentage. And you can see configure the IP address to this, and you see device names, and it says console into main from the terminal on PCA. So I can actually go into PCA, and I can go to desktop, and I can go to terminal 9600.1, and I'm connected to the router. Okay, now let's see it. So when we go into main, which should be the switch. Yeah, default gateway, device admin. So I actually have to go in, and by the time you get here, I know how to do this. You delete the cables. I go in and put a special cable in here, and then I can actually connect from RS-232 down to the switch. But eventually, what you're going to do is, when you do a check results, you're going to see under the assessment items whether or not you completed the actual items. Okay. In this case, I'm not. I haven't completed anything, so there's nothing giving me any points. I should be able to go in after I click close and click on this, go to terminal here, see if I can't see if I did that correctly. I believe it is supposed to be lowercase main. Maybe not. Didn't give me a percentage on that. Because I was in the wrong device. It's supposed to be in the router. But either way, if I'd configured it correctly, I would have gotten the points. So these are different because these particular packet tracers do have check results. They do have the ability to give you grades. So they are not look and see. Yep, there it is. I'm supposed to do it onto the router. So the router has, I have 5% completion now. If I click check results, you would see my check results, which would be, you would see this. So the snip that I want you to upload when you have a check results is I want you to take the snipping tool, and I want you to snip this check results and upload this as a save file, and JPEG, PNG, whatever's fine, just save it. Upload this along with your PKA. Now, how do you save your PKA? It's really very simple. When you are inside of Packet Tracer, you just do File, Save As, and then give it your name. And so it's already got the name so I could just put my initials or my name, save this, upload it into, under modules, since I was doing chapter 11, I would upload it right here into this 11.245. Now, each particular section, module, has both packet tracers and labs. Now, not every single one of them has packet tracers and labs, But if it does, they will have a packet tracer section, which are the packet tracers you complete. And then they will have a lab section. Now, some of the labs are just written labs, such as this. This is just a written lab that is a Word document that you fill out about network collaboration tools. So you can click here, save that Word document, fill it in, and upload that Word document right here in the class in the upload. So every assignment I want you to do has both a link to where the assignment is and an upload button. Finally, you have the chapter exams. The quizzes are not required. You can do them if you want, but you do have chapter exams. So again, you'll see in every single chapter you've got these. Now, some of these do have NetLabs labs. How do I know which ones have NetLabs labs? Well, first off, when you look at it, you're going to see that it requires equipment. And you will see the equipment that's required. So in this case, you've got 2 switches and 2 PCs. You can also, when you look at the final item that you have access to, which is our NetLabs, okay, I'm going to log in, okay, you will be able to go in and schedule your lab time. Now, I'm not a student, this is not my student account, so it's an instructor account, but you will have a scheduler, and I'm going to do self-study time for individual learners. You can find your individual class. In this case, it is ITC Spring 18 Intro. I'm just going to grab somebody. So, but you can see now here are all the NetLabs labs. So in this case, I'm going to select lab 2333, and then I can pick any of the open pods. Now notice, like I said, one of the things that you can actually schedule it right now, which is the red line, or if I knew I had time in the future, I could go out and schedule time, you know, Sunday afternoon at 8 o'clock. All right. The only thing I ask, if you do schedule time in the future and you know you're not going to use it, then cancel your reservation. And canceling a reservation just means canceling. I'll show it to you where you can do it. So I'm going to do a real quick reservation here just to load a lab. Now you'll notice now that I've got a lab, and I did it for Thomas, so he's actually got that lab. But if Thomas needed to delete this lab, he could click here and cancel it. All right. But also one of the things I want you to know is when this is booting up, this is real gear. NetLabs is real equipment. So it does take between 5 and 10 minutes for the pod to boot. So do not think it's not working. It is actually booting in the background. And we'll come back to this in a minute. I want to go back real quickly. Many of you have not worked with Packet Tracer before. So I'm going to show you some things here. So let's look at a packet tracer that's a little more involved. Here's PT 2146. You'll notice there are instructions and then the PKA. You need to be clicking on the PKA, and that will allow you to click on the saved file and open it. Now this will only open if you have already downloaded the PKA. Now you can put in your credentials if you want, but I just click OK and bypass that. Again, not a big deal there. But once you open up the packet tracer, it will open 2 windows. It opens one window, which is the actual packet tracer interface, and another window, which is the activity information. Now this is what's really nice to have dual monitors, because you can put this on one side and the other screen on the other side. But you'll notice now this packet tracer is asking you to go through, and you'll see this one does have a completion percentage. So the first thing it says is connect PC1 to S1 using a console cable. By the way, if you've read Chapter 2, the information on what this is and what we're doing is included in the content of Chapter 2. So don't do these before you read the chapters. Read the chapters, then do the packet tracers, then do the labs. Okay? So it says here, click the connections icon, the one that looks like a lightning bolt. So there's the connections, and you'll also see if you hover, it will tell you what it is. So there's connections. And then it says in the left corner, select the light blue console cable. And you can even see when you hover over it says console cable. Click PC1 and select RS232. This is step C. Drag the other end to the switch, all right, and connect to the console. And you'll notice I got 5 points. So I've completed the first item that's necessary. And then it walks you on through. It says click on PC1, and then it says click on the desktop tab. Click on Terminal, 9608N1. Those are the settings that are correct. By the way, that's something that will be told to you in the chapter. Click OK, and then now you're looking at the iOS screen, the command line for a Cisco switch. And then now you can do the help functions. Okay, the question mark. You can do T question mark, shows you all the commands that begin with T. TE will show you all those that begin with TE. You'll notice if you go into, or if you type the wrong command, it will ask to translate into an IP address. Enable takes you into another mode. Again, this is what's called privileged exec mode. You'll notice there are many more commands when you do the question mark here. So once you've completed this entire lab, okay, go all the way through it, you would do exactly what I said before. You would just do File, Save As, and you would save it with your name in front of the name of the packet tracer, and then upload it into the class. And you would also want to do a check results, look at the assessment items, and then do a snip and save this and upload it with your completed .pka file. And again, you do that by going to Modules, and then in this case I was doing Packet Tracer 2146. I would upload it right here on Packet Tracer 2146. So for each one of these, you're going to do the Packet Tracer, then you're going to complete it, save the PKA, save a snip if it has a completion percentage, and then upload it to the actual upload for each Packet Tracer. The labs are similar, but the labs, if it is a non-NetLabs lab, such as this one, you will just complete the document, you'll download the document, put in your answers, preferably in a blue text or in a different color text, just because it's easier for me to see it. And then you will upload that particular lab in the upload item. So, and that's for each individual chapter. So as we go through, you'll see our different chapters. Some have more packet tracers than others. Some have no labs. For instance, this chapter 4 has no labs. It has one packet tracer. Chapter 5 has a good number of labs and packet tracers. So it just depends on the chapter as to what will be assigned in that chapter. So again, very quickly reviewing. Go to Moodle to complete your first assignment. Go into Netacad, and this is your primary place to do all work for this course, is in the Netacad. So when you are in your course, all right, each course, no matter whether it's intro or any of the others, the modules area will have a listing of the packet tracers and the labs that you need to complete and the chapter exams you need to complete for the class to be successful. Anywhere you need to do a lab that involves the NetLab system, which is any lab that contains actual Cisco gear in it, you will go to the NetLab system, and then you will get something like this. And you will notice this is the lab that we have actually scheduled, and I can actually click Show Lab Content, and you'll notice that it's been updated for NetLab. So always use these updated NetLab documents. But in here, it actually shows you how to go through and configure the PCs and do the actual lab. And these are virtualized PCs, and so you've got the PC that comes up. And by the way, if you get Java prompts, you just have to tell it to yes, run the Java prompts. Okay, so you've got an actual Windows 7 PC sitting here in this virtual environment. It's totally usable. If you click here on the actual device, by the way, that's how you get in a device. You just click on it. Then you will see that you are connected, in this case by reverse telnet, into the console on the switch itself. Okay, and you will see this is an actual switch. This is a Cisco 2960 with a 15.02 image. It is not a simulation. Okay, and that is the primary difference between Packet Tracer and NetLabs. NetLabs is real gear. By the way, I love Packet Tracer, but I always tell people you've never seen a job resume, or excuse me, a job posting that states you need 2 to 4 years of Packet Tracer experience. They want you to have experience using real gear. I hope this has helped. If you have any questions, we will be meeting in our WebEx meetings weekly, and you can then ask those questions during class. Thank you and have a great day.